Hey everyone, I'm Yvette Lloyd, host of Life Her podcast. I have Gillian Nelson with us, founder of Sunny and Denby, a natural hair care brand, has successfully impacted thousands of customers since the launch of 2019. Inspired in her own experience as a mother, she created a line in a non-toxic and natural hair care product design to address common conditions and alopecia, eczema, and different other things that individuals go through when it comes to hair care. With the over 125,000 followers across the social media platforms, Sunny has an amazing become a trusted name brand industry. And today we have her leading us with an amazing podcast show with her business and dedication, balancing motherhood, marriage, and entrepreneurship while empowering others through her journey. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Yvette. Thank you for having me. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. I'm sorry about the tongue tied.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We're going to work it out.
Yes. So, what is the moment or experience that inspired you to become an entrepreneur and start your own business?
I'm not sure there was a moment. I think it was just a series of events pushing me in that direction. You know how sometimes when God puts something on your heart, but you in your own, in your own will, you're fighting it. So I had this calling or this thing that was tugging at me for years. And I just kind of tucked it to the side. I was a mom, my kids were growing up. I had a regular corporate job. I was actually a swim mom, so I was busy with my kids, taking them swimming every day, swim meets on the weekend. So I didn't really see where I had time in my life to like start a business. So it wasn't like a particular, like a one, ooh-ha, aha moment. It was kind of just like a series of events, which started with my oldest daughter coming home from school and just not being happy, crying and being upset about her hair and, why her hair didn't look like the other kids' hair. Because even though I didn't really know that much about hair products back then, I was always intentional about making sure I wasn't putting extensions or braids on their hair while they were still very young, because I realized that it does weigh, the hair down. So I would just style their hair like in little twists with rubber bands. I know people are kind of funny about rubber bands, but I swear by, hair growth with bands, because that's how my daughter's hair grew, like down to her back and butt. So it just started with that moment, just like listening to my daughter and it resonating so deeply with me, because I had my own insecurities around my hair growing up. Just growing up, I grew up in Jamaica, and my mom was a school teacher, and my mom did not know how to do hair. Like, she couldn't do a cornrow. She could do two puffs and a plait, and that was it. And she had me outside looking. It was cool until I became a teenager. But when I hit like 12 and the other girls had relaxers and jerry curls, and I was just walking around with two puffs looking crazy, it started to become a problem. And like my whole life, I just remember growing up with her telling me like how coarse my hair was, like, how hard it was for her to comb it. And it was because, she probably wasn't using the right product. She didn't know anything about moisture. We weren't deep conditioning. We were just using the products that she had available to her at the pharmacy back then, is where we probably got our products from. So, she was doing the best she could, but like these weren't products that were tailored for my texture. And for that reason, it was just rough and coarse. And she wasn't wrong about that. I had really thick, short hair. And I just grew up with that stigma, just always feeling like I got picked last in the hair lottery and just feeling really insecure about that. So when my daughter came home and she expressed her concerns, that was a trigger for me, because I was like, I do not want her growing up feeling the way I felt and having these insecurities around her hair. So
Mhm.
in that moment, it still didn't start out as a business. It was just me, a mom, trying to fix my daughter's problems. I started buying other hair products that I thought were good at the time. And, you would get a little better, but I really wasn't seeing long-term consistent results. So I'm Jamaican. I mean, I don't know if you know any Jamaicans, but we're going to get to the root and we're going to go whip up some stuff and go in the kitchen and grate some coconuts from scratch and do what we got to do, right? So I went ahead and I started buying oils and butters. And we had this account on Amazon. I remember we had $1,000 limit. When I tell you, I ran up that account and I was hiding it from my husband because I didn't want him to know I have been buying all this stuff on the, because we're supposed to be paying our bills now, not going the other direction.
Right.
This thing, I'm like, I'm not even knowing if it's going to work, but I'm like, let me just start whipping up oils and butters. I'm researching herbs. I'm researching this. I'm researching that. And I just start mixing up stuff and trying different things on our hair. And I always talk about our hair butter, which will be forever my favorite product, just because that's the product that we first, as a matter of fact, I think I had one here somewhere. That's the first product that we started with in our brand. I like to say it's the first product that I perfected because I feel like it's such a perfect product. This one right here, this is my baby right here, because this, when I use this in her hair and I saw those curls coil and I realized that it wasn't as dry and rough as it was before. And then people started commenting. They were like, Jill, what are you using on the girls' hair? Right. And, in true mom fashion, I'm just like, oh, girl, I've just been using shea butter. Like, I did not see the value in this. I didn't think anybody would pay me any kind of money for this. I didn't see the value at all. This was not a motive for me to become a business owner. So when you ask me, like, what was the moment? There was no one moment. It was just a series of events of God pushing me into my purpose. I was very unwilling because I didn't like selling. I didn't like selling. I didn't like the idea of having to convince somebody to buy something.
Yes.
But the beautiful part about this is our products are so good. I don't have to convince people. We have a series of testimonials from our sunflowers over the years, from my initial core customers who were my friends on Facebook back then, starting me up with testimonials, from day one. I'm like, oh my God, Jill, you've been holding out on us. Like, we needed this the whole time, girl. This helped my eczema. This helped my hair grow. So starting off from my core friends, just giving me feedback, even as far as telling me the things I needed to work on, like better packaging, better labeling. Because when I tell you it started out janky, it started out very disrespectfully janky. Okay. So it wasn't even cute janky. It was just janky. All right. There's janky and there's what I had. So just feedback on how to improve packaging, how to improve containers so stuff wouldn't leak. Because when I tell you stuff was leaking, people were getting empty bottles. Like, by the time they got the package, the label was rubbed off because I was writing it on a Sharpie on an Avery label and sticking it on the bottle. And if the product leaked, by the time they got it, the writing done smudged off. So they're like, girl, what is this? Like, you sent me something, it smudged. Like, so it was really that basic. And that's legit how I started. Like, I went through this period of depression when I turned 40. God started closing the doors in on me. He started closing the doors in. He was like, okay, girl, I'm trying to nudge you. You're hesitant. I'm going to close the walls in. He started closing the walls in. And I went through this period where I was like, super depressed, didn't know why. I felt like I needed to. I have 3 kids, and I honestly felt like I needed to give birth to something. And I said to my husband, I'm like, I feel like we need to have another kid. And he's looking at me like, girl, we can't afford the 3 we have now. Like, where are we going to put another child? Like, he was like, I don't know what it is, but, we need to get to the bottom of it. But adding another child to what we have going on is not going to fix this problem. And when I tell you the thing that I needed to give birth to was Sunny Demby, it was these products. And I was led to this mentorship program. Through the mentorship program, I then started making these products. I was encouraged to make something that I loved. And for me, that's always going to be hair care. And I started making hair care products. And, part of the assignment we had one day was to show the process of what you're doing. And I have forgot that the week before they had told us to link our Instagram and our Facebook together. Now on Instagram, I didn't really know the people on Instagram. Facebook, these were my family and friends from Jamaica, people I knew closely. I didn't want them to know I was over here dabbling with shea butter and trying all of this stuff. They knew me as, working at the college. I was a college counselor, college professor. That's what they knew me as. They didn't really know this other side to me. Anyway, I'm uploading a video, trying to complete my assignment for that week. And of course, it posted to Facebook because it was linked. And I started getting all these messages. They were like, "What are you making? Is that a cake?" Because our hair butter is really light and whippy. So they're like, "Are you making?" Because I cook really well. I bake. I do other things. They're like, "What kind of cake are you making? What kind of muffin mix is that?" I'm like,
Right.
"Oh my goodness!" Like I am busted. I got when I tell you God outed me, He really did. And that's how I got my first 8 orders that day. They were like, "Whatever it is, we want it." It's not for sale. I didn't know how to price it. I didn't have containers to put it in. And that's honestly how I started. I headed to the dollar store and I did the best I could with what I had. And that's legit how my first order went out. And that's how I got started. So yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. And it's so crazy because you were saying like how you went into the depression and you didn't know why. It seems like God was like leading you and pressuring you, letting you know that was your calling, and you was probably
Yes.
just confused.
I was scared. I was scared because,
Yeah.
like I told you, I didn't know how to sell. I didn't like selling. I'm very much introverted. Also, I wasn't sure that what I had would be of value to other people. Now, I
Mm.
know it worked for my kids. Why did I think it wouldn't work for other people's kids? I don't know. But I was just afraid of like people would use it and not like it. And then, I wasn't the person yet, right? So I
Yeah.
couldn't really stand the feedback, like the negative stuff that people would say. I still very much at that time had like very thin skin and was really sensitive. Now I've
Mm.
changed a lot. 6 years in business will do some
I
things to
bet.
you. Okay. You get a
Yes.
backbone, like hello. All right.
Yes.
So it's a little different now, but when I started, I was still very much sensitive about my craft, like still very much in my feelings about people's feedback, wanting everybody to love it. And for the most part, most people did. So it really encouraged me to like keep going.
That's amazing. Just even just the fear part and thinking of what people say. Being an introvert, I don't think people understand how hard it is to get out of that. I'm like that myself, and it is hard. And especially when you have some sort of spiritual gifts and you feel people's energy and you just don't want to be bothered. It's like you rather just be in your safe space and just do what you do, you know?
Yeah, it's a daily struggle. And then it even gets more complicated for introverts like me that could show up and they were like, "Oh, but you're not shy." Yes, I am. I show up when
Typically.
I need to. When I need to, I can show up. But on a regular day, I'm in my room. I'm listening to something. I got a book. I like my space. I like to recharge. And those moments are not as common as they used to be. But I love my alone time. I'm very much introverted, but I'm the type of introvert that when I need to be on, I can be on. But I need my recharge time.
Mhm. You definitely do because you'll find yourself getting tired, you
Oh
know?
my gosh, yes. Drained. Like some conversations just drain me. It's like
Yes.
I'm not interested. I got to do small talk. See, I can't do small talk. We're either talking or
No.
we're not. You know? Yeah. Like what are we doing? Right? So, yeah.
Yes. Especially when it's not a conversation that's just informational to help you become a better person instead of talking about other people and just a
Exactly.
bunch of nonsense and stuff. It's like you were saying, like over the years of you just being an entrepreneur, you develop this tough skin, and that's due to experiences dealing with people and different things. It makes you grow up in another
Oh, for
level.
sure. For sure. Because it's like it forces you. You're either going to swim or you're going to drown. And at a certain point, you're like, you know what? I kind of like swimming. Like I don't like it, but I feel like I could go a little bit further. If I could make it
Yeah.
to that rock over there, I could sit down and rest a little bit. And but like it does develop your skin. I don't know how to say it. You just get
Yeah.
thicker skin. You can tolerate more. Like you can things that used to rattle me don't anymore. And I'm
Yeah.
like, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I have to respect what other people, have to say, good or bad. So, I feel how I feel, but that's my feelings. They have their feelings too. So, just growing, like I have just grown so much as a person, as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Like I have grown in leaps and bounds because when I tell you I was green, I was very, very green when I first started.
Wow. So what have been like the most rewarding moments in your journey as a business owner?
You know what? I've had a lot, but to be honest to you, the most rewarding thing to me so far was when my older daughter, who is now a freshman in college, she did a college essay talking about how her parents starting a business changed her perception of Black wealth. That
Wow.
to me was like,
Wow.
whoa. And the because our kids grew in this business with us. Like they were our first employees, you know. They were the one making boxes for me. You know, they were the one like folding the inserts to put in the paper, the packaging before we had a website. So they really grew. They got a master class in business, in starting a business from nothing to like seeing where we are now. So when she asked me to read her, I didn't even know what the college essay was about. And she was like, Mom, can you read my college essay? And I'm like, what is it about? And she was like, you know, it's about how my parents starting a business like changed my perception on Black wealth. And I'm just like,
Man.
yeah, that was a different level of like, now I can tell you about all the tangible trinkets, those are nice. But when you like know that something you've done in your life that your child has witnessed and it has like helped to
Mm.
form them to be the person that they're going to become, ain't no amount of trinkets or money or accolades could put a price on that. And for me, that was absolutely my proudest moment today.
Wow, that is amazing because sometimes when people have businesses, it is so important to have your kids involved because it helps them evolve.
It
And
does.
just for them actually noticing and seeing how you move and operate, that's them learning different things, seeing different experiences, dealing with people and everything. And it helps them a lot instead of them actually being in iPads all day while you
Right.
over there working hard or you doing work for them, having them being interactive with everything. A lot of people don't understand how that helps their cognitive, their mindset, and everything for them to grow. So good job, mom and dad.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That is amazing. So your business have grown tremendously in the last 5 years. What key factors do you believe contribute to the success, and how do you continue to stay innovative when it comes to the captive industry? Because the industry is growing constantly.
For sure. So for me, I think people underestimate consistency. People
Mm,
underestimate that you don't have to be the best at something. And don't get me wrong, in this hair care game, I'm the best. Y'all just don't know it yet. So let's not get that part twisted. But
yes.
consistency, showing up every day, like, and your 100% looks different every single day, right? So my 100% yesterday, my 100% tomorrow is not going to be the same. But whatever my 100% is, showing up for your business, showing up for your community. Like we have a community of sunflowers, like they're not even customers anymore. These are my girls. These are the people that, you know, these are my sisters. Like they hold me down. They started out as customers, you know, now they're like my sisters. You know, we dub them the sunflowers, and showing up for them every day. Because if I don't show up, I'm getting a message. Sonny, where you at? I ain't see you on live today. I ain't see you post today. You okay? Like we need a live. We need to talk to you, right? So consistency is undefeated. And what you lack in talent, what you lack in passion, you can absolutely make up for in consistency, because consistency builds discipline and discipline builds skill, right? So when you show up every day for your, I mean, some days all I got is to put up a picture or something. That's all I have left. I am white. But I'm gonna put that up because I gotta stay consistent. I have to show up for my business. I have to show up for myself. So consistency is like the one thing that I could say. We've been in business for a little bit over 6 years, and I've
Okay.
been on social for that long. I have not missed a day of posting on social. I don't care if
Wow.
I'm on vacation. I don't care if I'm sick. I don't care. I don't care what's happening. I'm going to show up. I'm going to drop something. Even if I can't put something up on the main page, I'm going to drop something in the stories for you to know we're here. Don't forget about us. You may not have the money to buy our stuff today, but when you're ready, the hair butter right here. Here go the link. All right. And what happens is people might not have the money that day, but when you consistently show up for people, when they are ready to make that purchase, they're going to shop with you because you are the person. They know that if I post online every day, if they have a problem or a question, they know where to find me. They know I'm not going to ghost them. They know I'm not going to take their money and run with it, right? Because I'm always there. I'm always available. If I'm not there myself, my team is. We have people available for customer service. We got people in the DMs. It's so bad. The sunflowers, they're answering questions now. Well, she ain't here, but you got scalp issues. Okay, what you need to get is, I was like, well, they're like, you need to go get the scalp bundle and the deep conditioner. That's what I use for my daughter. That's what helped her. And I'm like, I don't need to be here. Y'all got this.
Right, right.
Right? It's that. And then the second part of your question was, how has the industry changed since I got here? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to be 100% with you. When I first started, I honestly didn't pay attention to industry trends too much. Because like I told you, I started because of a need I had for my daughters. So as selfish as that sounded, I was a mom on a mission. I had to get my girls here together. I was trying to figure out how to get growth, how to get moisture. So I had a very singular vision. It was that, okay? Once we started the business and the business started growing, we started getting customers and everything. I'm a very creative person. Like, I can do so many things well that I really got to be careful and just make sure that I stick with what God said. Because I could be over here cooking, I could be crocheting, I could make you a dress, I could make you a cake. I could do your hair. What do you need, right? There's so many different things. I'm just a creator at heart. People who are creative, we have to stay in our creative genius. Distractions rob you of that. Worrying about what everybody else is doing robs you of that, because now people get in your head. Other things start influencing you, right? And whether or not we know it, the little subliminal messages all around us every day alter our consciousness. So I don't know what they're doing. What I can tell you is I got a team that's keeping an eye on it. I could also let you know that what I've noticed, one of the biggest things that I've noticed is since the pandemic and in recent years, I feel like you said, the hair care space, the beauty industry, it's changing. We're trying to find what the new normal is, right? So prior to COVID, we would all run to the beauty supply. We would go to the resale store. And like e-commerce, it was doing its thing. But after the pandemic and during the pandemic, e-commerce really picked up. So I think we're kind of in a space now where, and it's consumer led because it's what the consumer wants. Some people a lot of people like shopping online. It's convenient. You don't got to get dressed. You get something from Amazon, you Instacart, you Uber Eats. People love the convenience of e-commerce. So I think we're honestly in a space where we're trying to figure out what's going to be the new normal. Are we going to go back to retail and the beauty supply? Is the consumer going to lean more into e-commerce? Like, what is it going to be? So I don't know if anybody knows. I know as far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen a clear, answer as to where it's going to go. So that's the one thing I could say. It's changed a lot in terms of the accessibility to customers and how people get their products. But in terms of like what's hot, what's trendy, I don't do hot and trendy. I go off of facts. I go off receipts. I'm that old school girl, right? Your grandmother had the recipe. We're going to use this recipe for 4 generations to come. I'm not adding another speck of salt because my grandmother didn't, right? So I stick to what works. I'm comfortable in my zone. I don't feel like I need to veer out of that to alter anybody's needs or wants. I certainly do listen to my customers. Customers say, like, for example, we just dropped some Botana butter. I'm like, here they go with this. They're like, Sonny, we want Botana. We've seen Botana all over. We don't know. We don't trust people. Can you make something Botana? I told you I'm not trendy. However, I do listen to my customer. And if I'm able to sustainably source it and get them a good solid product, I'm going to make that happen. But I don't really go with trends. I don't really watch too much what other people are doing. I keep my blinders on. I have a great team that I'm surrounded by that will be like, hey, hello, I know you're over there locked away, but this is what's happening. This is what we need to look at. So I'm very, I'm very fortunate to have like an extra set of eyes out there. But as far as me and my creative genius, I just lean into it. Like I keep my blinders on. I focus on what my customers want. I focus on what God has planted in my heart to do next. And I really don't get distracted or pay attention too much to the trends or what, other brands are doing.
That's really good. I know it's one thing that out of curiosity, because you have something going on that is just so amazing. And what I have noticed when a lot of business owners, when they grow, I know at times it could get overwhelming and everything. But what do you think about when people want to sell their company and change their ingredients and change different things? How do you feel about that? Because that's been a thing lately when it comes to products that are really good. They start off good and then they start changing different products, and it creates different things to happen to individuals.
So I'm going to say brands that are founder led don't have that problem too often. The problem comes in when you scale a business, at a certain point, you either have to accept a partner, you either have to get funding, you either have to sell a part of your business, you either have to, bring on an angel investor or whatever. When that happens, you lose control a little bit. So I'm not going to blame these business owners 100% because I understand the game. I understand how it works. I understand that in order for you to see us as Black people, we didn't come from infinite wealth.
Yeah.
I don't have an uncle or a family member that or do I know anyone that I could say, you know what? I'm trying to scale Sunny. Let me hold $5 million real quick. I'm going to pay you, 7 or 10 back. We don't have access to that. There are also people out there that are very aware of our naivete, let's say. We don't know no better. You pull up with the Brinks truck, where I sit.
Yep.
I want to be in the front seat, right? Not considering the effects.
Reading.
You gave up some of your power.
Yes.
You took that $5 million. You're going to have to be open to opinions. You're going to have to be open to, so how are we going to stretch this profit margin so we can all get a little bit of this pie or a lot of this pie, right? So now you go from using your sustainable ingredients, using things the way you've been doing it, to now you got to fluff it up. It's not, and it happens a lot when a business scales. That's just what happens. And I mean, my hope for Sunny is that we never get to that point. I want to have a legacy brand. I want to be able to, when I got a lot more, I'm about to be 50, well, 48. I got a lot more life left in me, right? So in my mind, I got another good 20 years of pulling up to that warehouse. And when I can't walk, y'all gonna roll me in and I'm gonna sit right there and point my stick at y'all and be like, no, do this, do that type thing. And when I can no longer do that, I'm really hoping that one of my children can take that over. Or if one of my children, I can't force that on them, if they don't want to do that. But I mean, if not, I'm really hoping that I can partner with somebody that understands my vision and understands why it's important for us to use real shea butter, and understand why I prefer the black soap from Ghana, and understand why, we need cold pressed organic olive oil. Somebody that could just, well, we don't need olive oil. Let's just use some Crisco. No, it's not the same. It don't work the same, right? So I'm hoping that if we ever get to that point, I can find someone who will be aligned with what my vision is, what my core values are, and why I started the business. So I get it. Like it's a sticky game. And if you don't understand how business works, you probably don't get that play. And people get upset because we get tied to, this is my brand, they used to do this and now they not this no more. If you pull the curtains back, I bet you the founder probably stepped back and they're not calling the shots anymore, you know, or even if they are, maybe they're still the face, but they don't really have the leverage that they had before. And ownership changed a little bit. So it's all of that. You know what I'm saying? So as a business owner, as somebody who understands the game, I get it. But before I was in the game, I didn't get it. I did not get it. I did not get it. And I probably felt the same sentiments that a lot of people feel. So yeah. Did that make sense?
Yes, it
Okay.
did.
Okay. Okay.
So, I was viewing your website and I thought it was just so I've been on a lot of hair websites, but it's just yours is so informative.
Thank you.
Yes, and I really love it because it gives so much detail to make people comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
getting it. And one of the things I would like for you to elaborate more on is the 6-step healthy hair system that you have.
Yes. So I probably said this before, but my background, I'm a teacher. You ask me a question, I'm gonna explain till you get it, and we're not leaving till you understand.
Mhm.
So that's probably what my website reflects, right? It's important for me for you to understand the why. Because if you understand the why you need this, then you'll know why you need to proceed the way you should proceed, right? When you're confused and you're not sure, well, why do I need it? You know, then there's no value there. So if I can get our customer, our sunflowers, to understand why they need this 6-step system, which starts with our detox clay, which I totally bumped. This is another thing that I just bumped into at random because I told you I was a swim mom. So my
Mhm.
girls were in the pool 5 days a week. And on weekends, we had swim meets, sometimes Saturday and Sunday. Got 2 little black girls, and every black woman knows when you go in the pool, your hair break off. Okay,
Yes.
to stay out the chlorine, you know, you got to put on your swim cap. Even when you put on the swim cap, the nape of your hair is breaking off or whatever. And the other swim moms just couldn't understand, how is it my daughters were swimming every day, and at that point, like, I was really in charge of taking care of their hair, so the hair was just thriving. Like, now they're older, they do their own hair, they doing all the teenage things that make me cringe. I'm like, you know what? I ain't worried about it. When you come to your senses, we got these products over here. We're gonna start over, okay? That's because one day you're gonna roll up in here bald if you keep going the way you're going. But I'm not worried about it. I grow hair for a living. That's light work for me, so I'm not even worried about that. But so I discovered the power of detox clay. And this is a clay mix we have, and this is the first step in the 6 step system. And what detoxing does is it really creates an environment where it cleans your scalp from all the toxins, all the impurities, all the chemicals, all the stuff that would otherwise just strip away at the hair shaft, right? So I was detoxing my daughter's hair like every 2 months because it's chlorine in that pool. It's all kinds of stuff in that pool, right? So every 2 months we would do a detox, and I found that it's almost like a reset. So it's
Mm.
resetting you to baseline, and it's allowing you to go a little bit. Okay, we done gone too far. Let's reset again, right? So detoxing offers you a reset. It pulls the good, the bad, and the ugly out of your hair, is what I say, which is why we then have the second step, which is deep conditioning. Because after you done pull the good, the bad, and the ugly, I'm going to need you to run the good back. I need you to nourish those strands. I need to make sure that your hair isn't dry, because if you go ahead and detox and you don't deep condition, your hair is going to be dry and it's going to break. And the last thing we want is for you to have more problems than what you started with. So the second step of that process is deep conditioning, right? And our conditioner, I got it right here, is dubbed the overnight deep conditioner. Ain't nothing overnight about it. Like I tell them, I called it the overnight deep. This is how like authentic and pure my brand is. This product is called the overnight deep conditioner because when I had 2 toddler daughters, I would put deep conditioner in their hair overnight because it made wash day easier for me the next day. If we can
Okay.
get deep condition while you sleep, then when you wake up in the morning, we just gonna wash it out and style it, and we're done. I don't have to deal with both of y'all deep conditioning, shampooing, and all of that in one day. So that's why it's dubbed the overnight deep conditioner. But there is absolutely nothing in this conditioner. Like I tell our sunflowers, ain't no overnight fairies come and sprinkle fairy dust at night. You can do it any time of day. It's just called the overnight deep conditioner because that's what I called it when I first started, because we deep condition overnight, right? So after you detox, of course, you're going to deep condition. Then the third step is shampooing with our black soap shampoo. I got my black soap shampoo right here. you're going to shampoo twice with this product. And I always feel like I need to explain our black soap shampoo because it's made with African black soap from Ghana. This right here. This is what we make it with. So black soap in itself is very dry. It's antibacterial, it's antifungal, it's very good for skin, but I do not recommend using authentic black soap on your hair. It's drying. All right. So the way we formulated our shampoo, we formulated in such a way that it's now a moisturizing shampoo. So we turn something that's normally super drying into something that's, very nourishing or moisturizing for your hair. So the black soap shampoo, I explained because it's a low lather shampoo. People feel like when you use a shampoo, the more suds you get down your neck and back means that it offers a deeper clean, which is not necessarily true because depending on the surfactant used in that shampoo, it's not doing anything but stripping your hair. It's not doing anything but making your hair shaft thin, and that's how you get split ends and other things because it has sulfates and parabens and all of that stuff in it. So our black soap shampoo is low lather, but it's an amazing shampoo. I tell people to just put it on your scalp and use the pads of your fingers and scrub it. Do that twice and then rinse that out. The fourth step, I'm looking for my ingredients, my products. The fourth step is our leave-in conditioner and detangler. This right here has 3 ingredients in it, one of which is water. It has slippery elm bark, a marshmallow root. It gives an amazing slip. It gives an amazing detangling effect to it. Moms love it because, on wash day, kids got the ouchies. They're scared of their hair and all of that stuff. Yeah. So it's excellent for detangling. So we just put this in a little spray bottle and then we just spritz the hair and we gently detangle. The fifth step is our oil, because after you moisturize, you got to lock that moisture in. So we're locking our moisture in with our herbal growth oil right here. You see all the herbs. That's not just there to be cute. Like all of those herbs have a purpose. They are all growth herbs. And we specially select these herbs because we know that to get hair growth, you have to stimulate blood flow from the hair follicle. So I'm not just throwing herbs in there to be cute in a bottle. These herbs all have a purpose. These herbs all increase circulation to the hair bulb because in order for you to grow hair, you got to increase blood flow to the hair bulb. All right. So that's what that does. We also have a second oil that is also number 5. So we could, oiling is like number 5 in the routine. This is our intensive scalp oil. This is the one we got for alopecia. This is the one we have for our customers that have, they're undergoing chemo, they have hair loss, they're missing edges, like anyone that's having difficulty or struggling with hair growth, we recommend our intensive scalp oil. It is a powerful growth herb. It's made with 7 different herbs, and we get rave reviews about as long as you have hair follicles, as long as they're not dead. Like some people's hair follicles are like dead. So, but you also have some people's hair follicles that are dormant. They just need a little something to wake them up and keep them going, right? A good oil, a derma roller, a scalp massage, oil compress, heat compress, something that's going to get like the hair bulb, excited, get that blood flow going. Paired with that oil, it's magic. And then the last thing that the last step is our hair butter in that 6-step process. This is my hair butter right here. As you could tell, I get high off on my own supply because I've been it's not I'll be sitting down here like really just greasing my scalp. Okay, so that's the hair butter. You can use it as grease on your scalp. You can also use it on the ends of your hair. I always say the ends of your hair are the oldest part of your hair. So you got to treat them like old people. You got to love on them, get them some little, extra TLC to help with your split ends, your color damage, your heat damage, all the things. It's the first product I want to say I perfected because I feel like it's a perfect product. And I always tell people, if you're wary or leery about our brand, try the hair butter. Just try the hair butter. That's gonna and that's not even fair because I already know what happens when you try the hair butter. So it's not even a fair recommendation, but all our products are dope. We don't sell anything mediocre. I really value people's money. I really value people's trust. So I'm not in the business of, I'm from Jamaica. We say selling you a pussy in a bag, meaning I'm selling you one thing, but I'm giving you something else. So we are super transparent. We stand by what we say. if our customers are not happy, we go above and beyond to make sure that they're happy, because I know that, it's cheaper to retain a customer than to get a new customer, right? So my goal is to always make our customers happy. Now, you do have some people that are just unreasonable, but outside of that, those are like few and far between. For the most part, most people are amazing customers. They support us. We've had the same customers for 6 years, which in this space, that says a lot, because you know how people are fickle about they'll cheat now. They'll go cheat. They'll come right back.
Yes,
Girl, I went over here. My hair ain't like it. I'm back. What do you have? So that does happen too. So yeah.
yeah, and that
That's just
that does happen. And now I love everything that you have because it's just natural, and a lot of people don't understand how so many natural products will help your hair all the time. I'm gonna have to try it myself because I wear my hair
yes.
natural a lot, and I just recently lost my curl pattern because I had surgery, so I'm waiting on that
Mm,
process to bypass me and
right.
everything. But just
Girl,
it's
yes. Let me
it's
run you
always
some detox
important.
K and deep conditioner. That's gonna fix that right on up.
Okay,
I'm
I'm gonna make
light work,
sure.
light
Uh,
work,
really
light work.
okay.
Yes, light
That
work.
is that is amazing. So during the process of you growing your brand, what are some of the difficulties that you went through? Because a lot of times people see the outcome of everything, see the successful things that you do. What are some of the things that you want to enlighten people with when it comes to you keeping your mental health together, keeping your business together, keeping your home together? It's just so much that comes with it behind the scenes that most don't understand.
It's a lot. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a mom of. I have 3 kids. I got one in college, one in 11th grade. I have a middle schooler. I've been married for 21 years, and now I got this business that we're trying to like grow and scale. And people ask me a lot, like, how do you find balance? And I'm like, show me the person that has ever found balance. I don't know if anybody has, and if they have, like, I want to meet them, because I really want to sit down and talk to them and figure out how are you able to balance like everything you have going on. So for me, the first thing is, like, I touched on this earlier with you said like challenges and stuff. I think the first challenge that you have is with yourself, and that's just
Mm.
developing the belief that this thing that you've subscribed to, that you can actually do it. And you almost got to lie to yourself in the beginning, or you got to borrow somebody else's belief in you, because yeah,
Yeah.
God called you to this thing, but you don't feel like you got the tools, you don't feel like you're qualified. So luckily for me, in the initial stages, I had people that I borrowed their belief in me, that would
Mm.
say, Jill, you could do it, girl, you can do anything. You can do this, you can do that, until I was really able to believe. Now I believe it to my core. But back then, it started out with me borrowing belief from somebody else, right? And like talking about some of the hardships, like there are just so many. Like, even just starting out in my kitchen the way I did, scaling to my basement, because that was scaling, right? And then it was, we moved from our old house into a new house. That was another skill. And then now we have a warehouse, so it's like managing employees, managing consultants, taking the meetings, the day-to-day struggles in the warehouse, still finding time to like spend time with the hubby, like, making sure that his needs are taken care of, taking care of the kids. Like, do I got to run up the street to go check on my daughter? She called me crying this morning. All right, so I got to drop everything. Like, do I need to go check on her today? Do I need to sit and have lunch with her on campus to make sure that she's good and her mental health is okay? Do I got to go over to the middle school and jot my son up because he over there talking in class? Like, so it just depends on like
Mm.
who needs me on what day. And if you're not careful, you get lost taking care of everything, taking care of everybody else. And I'm the queen of burnout. Like, that's the one thing I could say that I need to work on. And I tell myself this all the time, like, you got to be more kind to yourself.
Yeah.
I always want to do more. I always want to do the best. I always want to do it big. But that you got to find time to protect you. Like, you are the asset. You are the one that holds this whole thing together. If you fall apart, then what's going to happen to all these other people you're running behind and trying to take care of? So it's so funny you asked me that, because just earlier this week, I'm like, you know what? I need to take a day, like once a week, where I just stay home and do like admin stuff. I could work from the bed. I'm still working now. Ain't no days off. I'm working. But at least if I could work with Netflix on pause and laptop in my bed and drift off and take a nap when I need to, that's better than me going 7 days a week. So I've really been trying to figure out what that looks like. And I'm honestly going to do it, because I just had to stop this past weekend and say, you know what, enough. You need to rest. Like, your body is telling you you need to rest. You got to stop. And I stopped and I rested, and I feel so much better this week. So I think just finding like intentional days and times to just care for yourself and rebuild yourself and make sure that you're not running yourself ragged is so important. But like, man, I always tell people, like, running a business is just a big ghetto experiment. You just listen. The thing
you ain't lying.
You listen. I saw somebody say, this was like I forgot who it was, and he was an influential business person, and he said, if somebody saw the way the back end of my business look, they would not believe that we have this bit. We're out here doing all the things. If they really lifted up the hood and see like what's going on and how janky this thing is on the back end, they wouldn't believe this is us. That's how it is, right? That's just how it is. So, you don't ever have it all figured out. And I really thought I was going to be the business person that had it all figured out, and we're going to do this, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Girl, it be 2, 25, 62, 91, 25.
Everywhere.
Every which way but the right way. But by the grace of God, here we are. Somehow it works, and so it's a lot, but not everybody's wired for it. But when I tell you, I've developed the backbone. I've developed the backbone to weather the storms and not get too high with the highs, not get too low with the lows, right? That's just kind of tread water and just try to maintain that balance, because as quick as you go up, you can come down.
Wow. So what are your goals for like working towards to continue to expand your brand?
If you had asked me this question a couple years ago, I think I said on a couple of podcasts, I said like I wanted Sunny to be like, how when you go to like the hotels and you see like the little samplers. I was like, I think that'd be so cute for us to have like a little body wash and a little soap and a body butter and some shampoo. And I'm dreaming bigger now. That's too small. That's too small. That's too small. Plus I want you to have some bed sheets. I want you to have a makeup line. I want you to have some clothes. I want you to have some Sunny pots and pans. I want all of it. I want all of it. I want Sunny to be a household name. I want everybody to know Sunny and Demby. I want everybody to know that we are that brand that's going to be disruptive. We are that brand that's going to change the narrative in the beauty space. Y'all don't know it yet, but keep this interview. Somebody gonna pay you some good money for this because you heard it here first. Because the last interview I did, which was probably like a couple of months ago, I did say the little shampoo. That's cute, and I still want that. Like, I think it'd be really dope to pull up to the Marriott and see some, the Waldorf and see some the Ritz Carlton and see some sunny samplers. That's gonna be real cute. But having the linen Sunny and Demby, having the little coffee pot Sunny and Demby, seeing Sunny and Demby commercials on the TV, like all of it. I'm not putting a limit on what God could do. Like, he has done amazing things in my life so far. He has taken this business to places where I didn't even know we could go. So who am I to put a limit on God and say I want some samplers? Nah, I want whatever God got for me. That's what I want, and I'm not putting a price on it. I'm not putting a limit on it, because I'm not trying to block my blessings. Like, why am I going to stick with a little sampler when he got a whole department store? So yeah, I'm keeping it open. It's whatever God says. On my part, I'll continue to do the work. I'll continue to trust the vision. I'll continue to be true and authentic and transparent and honest. And I just pray that he continues to just bless me and drop these creative seeds in me and just expand my territory. And whatever he has for us, that's what it's going to be.
Now, I'd love to ask this to some of my guests. So, a lot of people don't understand, like when we're running a business, our faith has to be there constantly. Us communicating with God and having that relationship with Him is so important. Can you say how much has God has done for you, and even the times when you wanted to give up and He wouldn't let you?
Girl, see, God knows how to deal with me. He does. He knows that I'm not the kind of person that will succumb to a whisper. He know he got to slap me in the back of the head to get my attention. So he knows how to deal with me, and there are days when all I got is some tears and a prayer. Like, God, I don't even got to say what it is. You see, like, what do I do? And my prayer daily is for God to surround me with the right people. Just send the people. Send the people. I don't know everything. I can make some products that I could do in my sleep. I don't know the back end of this. I don't know how that works. Send me the people, like the good people. Separate me from anybody that doesn't mean me well. Separate me from anybody that's gonna, bring me down. And these are just the honest, vulnerable moments. Other people be praying and quoting scripture. I be talking to God like he my friend. I don't know how to pray like
Yeah.
that. I don't know how to speak in tongues. I don't know all them Bible scriptures. I did go to church, but I don't know all them Bible scriptures. I don't know how to rebuke devils. I talk to God like I'm talking to my dad, because that's who he is, right? I
Yeah.
talk in very plain layman terms. We have an understanding. He knows my heart. He gets me. He has yet to disappoint me. Now, he's also put me in timeouts.
Mm.
And I feel like I'm in a period of a timeout. Not because
Oh,
he wants to have me there, but because there are things I need to learn that I'm either being resistant to or I haven't learned yet.
okay.
And in order for you to go to the next level, there are things you have to learn. And you ask God to give you what's best for you. He's not going to elevate you and put you in places that you don't have the capacity to handle.
That's true.
So I'm going to sit in this timeout until I learn the lessons, until I learn the skills. So now I'm ready. So when he elevates me, I have what I need to be successful on that level. And I know that's why whenever I feel like I'm sitting still, whenever I feel like I'm wading in the water, there's something that he's trying to teach me. There's something that I haven't learned yet, that he knows that if he gives this to me prematurely, I'm gonna mess up when I get to the next level. So I
Mm.
got to sit in this state and I got to be miserable and I got to tell him every day I don't like it. And he's like, you don't like it, but you're not doing what you need to do to learn what I'm trying to teach you. So you're going to sit here until you learn it. And I'm not going to elevate you until you learn it, because if you don't learn it, you're going to go up and you're not going to succeed. And you ask me for success. You ask me for grace. You ask me to not withhold any good thing from you. And it's just like a child. Sometimes in order to discipline a child, you can't be nice to them. They got to learn the lesson.
You
They have
do.
to learn the lesson. And, that's just the kind of relationship we have. Girl, I'm a special one. He had time today. He made me. Trust me. He had time.
I
He
know
had
that's
time.
right. So, how can people purchase your products and follow you
Mhm.
on social media?
Yeah, so we're at Sunny in Denby. It's SUNNYDENBIGH.com. That's our website. All our socials are Sunny and Denby. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, and Facebook. So all the handles Sunny and Denby. You can visit our website. If you got questions or if you need recommendations or anything, you can send us an email at info@sunnyanddenby.com. We have an amazing customer service team that will get back to you. And yeah, that's just the best way is just to follow us on social. We go live on Instagram a couple times a week. I'm live on TikTok a couple times a week. I can't hide. If you want to find me, you can find me.
I
Okay, you
know
can
that's
find me.
right.
So yeah.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I love what you're doing, and I'm definitely about to purchase me some right when we get off.
Oh, thank you. Send me a we'll talk. We'll talk when we get off because I want to make sure you get that detox and that deep conditioner. I want to love on you a little bit. So yeah, send me an email. I'll make sure you get what you need and all of that. So
Thank you. So
you're
thank
so
you
welcome.
everyone. Thank you everyone for tuning in to Life Her Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and also listen to Life Her Podcast on all major platforms.